can we just say that from Thursday to Saturday, and even actually Sunday extended, is the best days of the week, because it's non-stop bangers. I mean, we have Summertime Rendering, we have Kaguya-sama, we have this series, Spy Family, we have the chapters tomorrow, we have One Piece later tonight, we have a lot of things that just come out back to back. I mean, we have, Shikimori, there's a few other series I've kind of neglected to mention. There's a lot of stuff that comes out from Thursday to Sunday, and it is just such a enjoyable time, and I've really missed this. I've been having such a good time sitting down and watching some good freaking anime. So, Spy Family, episode 2 is finally here, and we get our first real glimpse at the opening song, and I doubt I'm the only one that got that nostalgic vibe of, like, classic cartoons when I watched the opening. Like, seriously, just look at the opening song, look at the visuals, the color palette, etc., and you can just see just the amount of, like, beauty in it that just really reminds you of old school cartoons. I was like, yo, this is really awesome. It's like something that I would watch when I would sit down early on a Saturday or Sunday morning to watch when I was a kid. That's the vibe I got looking at the opening song. It's like, this is such a good freaking opening song, and it fits the overall theme and vibe of what Spy Family actually is. So let's talk about that opening song for a few moments. So I was told, thanks to my friend Nama, that apparently the opening song was actually done by someone that many of us might be very aware of. Someone that's worked on, let's say, Bleach opening songs, and which it really stands out. When you look at the openings that the individual has worked on, and when you compare it to the opening we just got, there is a lot of similarities in terms of the way the color palette is, the transitions, and I just want to say that's a really cool little detail. I love the style and design of the opening song of Spy Family, and I cannot wait to see more of this opening as, each episode comes out, because I love the opening song. I'm probably going to have it on repeat when I'm listening to music, when I'm just chilling and relaxing. But okay, enough with the opening song. Let's talk about this episode. Let's talk about Yor. So, Yor had a introduction, her character introduction for this episode, and she is pretty much the mother figure. She is the mama in the family, and so now with her overall introduction, her joining the family, we could say that Spy Family is finally complete. We have Lloyd, we have Anya, we have Yor, and they each have their own respective roles. You have, obviously, Lloyd, he's the spy. We have, little Anya, that is the child, but also, she is someone that has telepathy. She's able to read people's minds. Then we have Yor, that is the mother figure, but at the same time, she is a cold-blooded assassin behind the scenes. I really love that entire distinct element of the family. It reminds me a lot of Spy Kids. I don't know how many of you guys ever watched that, but when I sit down and I watch Spy Family, I am reminded of Spy Kids. Now, I don't know how well that movie is aged. It's been years since I watched Spy Kids, but I remember really enjoying Spy Kids growing up, like the movie trilogy and all that. And I think when I see Anya sitting there, like, watching, like, a spy cartoon, I'm like, yo, this reminds me of wanting to watch Spy Kids and all that. It's so nice. I love the dynamic of the family and how they each are harboring their own secrets and not trying to reveal who they actually are. For instance, Lloyd's, trying to hide the fact that he is a spy. Anya's trying to hide the fact that she has telepathy. And then you also have someone like Yor that is able to, be an assassin, but she's trying to be a mother. I like how the entire cast of characters really just mesh together to form such a cohesive unit. And the voice actors just truly complement each other. I mean, I talked about this in my first impressions, but it really needs to be stated. I feel like voice actors getting praise is one of the most neglected things when it comes to anime episodes that come out, because voice actors are kind of the hidden star behind the scenes. There's sometimes where the voice actors stand out and people mention it, but I feel like out of everything, people usually just talk about the story, people talk about the art and animation, and the opening song, and they typically leave out the voice acting, and that saddens me, because I feel like voice actors really give so much life to a scene. It's one of the biggest elements of an anime, and when I look at Spy Family, the voice actors really do just suit their entire role. Their job is just perfect, like the way their role is, because Anya's voice actor is really fitting for this little daughter character with Lloyd and Yor. Yor's character as well, she comes off as a very cold-blooded assassin, and at sometimes a very bubbly housewife, and then Lloyd as well comes off as like a very stern father figure, but someone that also is very serious about his job. The voice actors really know how to get into character, and they give so much life to these characters, and like, I've only read a little bit of the manga, and so seeing just the characters come to life, I really appreciate that. I just love the amount of effort and passion that the voice actors are throwing in to this anime. It cannot be stated enough how good they are. Now, if we're talking about how good the anime is, I guess I should talk about the art and animation and even the story. I'll leave the story for last because that's a big one to talk about when it comes to this episode. Art and animation, it is very consistent. It definitely seems to even be better than the first episode, actually, in terms of quality, at least in my opinion, and I really do like how they're holding a very level production. Like, for instance, it doesn't seem like anything's faltering or floundering around. It seems like the anime looks really good, and there doesn't appear to be any problems, which is great, because I feel like there is a lot of passion and love being put into this project from all angles, and so I feel like it's to be expected that it would look as good as it is. So, art and animation, amazing. Seriously, it is high-level stuff. Now, story-wise, I guess let's actually talk about that. So, episode 2, as I've already kind of talked about, it introduces Yor. She is our mother figure, and we get her whole backstory, her characterization, who she is, what makes her, tick, etc. And her character comes off, as I said, she is a very, I guess, scatterbrained or a little bit of a ditz when it comes to being a, I guess, a housewife or just trying to act like someone that is in a relationship. She seems very, like, absent-minded. That's a perfect word for it. And you see how she works at her job, and she doesn't really have a good working relationship with her coworkers. Like, all of her coworkers, are just straight up, like, they're mean to her. This is the best way to really summarize it. Her coworkers are bullies, they're mean to her, they don't treat her right, and she's just, she's dealing with her own problems on the side, so she kind of overlooks it, and she doesn't really put a lot of thought into it. But obviously, hearing your coworkers degrade you to such a degree is just outright saddening and sickening, and I'm sad to see that Yor was treated like that, despite seeing how good-natured she actually is. Despite her being an assassin, obviously, and being like what she is, she clearly has good intentions, and she isn't necessarily, evil. And I do think that the whole depiction at the end of the episode with, the whole coworkers and how they treated Yor really shows how Lloyd and Yor are really good for each other, and also how, in fact, Lloyd coming into Yor's life is brightening her life up, because the way the ending of the episode was going, it was going down a sad twist and turn, because everybody's making fun of Yor, saying, oh, she's by herself, she's lying probably about having a boyfriend, let's turn her in and all that. They're just being very malicious, very mean and evil, and it's messed up. And as soon as Lloyd comes in, he's like, yeah, I'm, Yor's husband, and they get shocked. One woman tries to literally sling hot food on him, and I'm just like, really? You're gonna go that far, that low, to try to embarrass Yor? It's easily one of the most annoying characters I have seen from this year. Now, I don't think that the coworker is badly written. I want to clarify, because I feel like when you say a character's bad, people think you're saying they're badly written. I'm not saying that. The coworker is actually, a really good written character. She suits her role. She's meant to be hated. She's meant to be annoying. That's what she is for. When I say she's a bad character, I'm not like saying she's badly written. I'm just saying she's very annoying and she's an awful person. So I do think that in terms of writing, the coworkers definitely fit their role, and it shows what type of circumstance her life that Yor has been living for a very long time. She's been trying to balance her life between being an assassin and having a normal office job, but obviously her office job is kind of floundering, and she's not doing too well. Like, she's really having a really bad circumstance where she could be potentially turned in as a spy. Even though we know she isn't, she's an assassin, it definitely could lead to a lot of complications if, let's say, the government or whatever found out about that. So it's interesting the way everything was depicted, the way the episode was done with the co-workers and all that, and how Yor is introduced, and also showcasing how Yor and even Lloyd got married at the end. And that was such a beautiful sequence. And it's just like such a spy-orientated like wedding. Like, think about it. What would be a better way for spies to get married, or a spy and assassin to get married, correction, than to have like explosions around them, they're middle of a mission, people are coming at them. What better way to have like a marriage than something like that? And seeing Lloyd put on like a grenade pin on Yor's finger, I was just like, that's perfect. That is legitimately perfect. It is so over the top. It just fits so freaking well. I love this series. Spy Family is truly a good series, not just in anime, but in manga as well, and it seems that this series is really being done justice, and I am so happy about that, because I'm a mega fan of Spy Family. I peaked this series many, many years ago when the manga's first chapter came out, and I knew when I read it that this was going to be a good series. I knew that if it survived and didn't get axed or whatever, or canceled, it was going to definitely be a series that stands on top. And it's clear as day from the trending of last week to just the amount of community discussion that we have gotten for the past week now, that this series is definitely huge. People are falling in love with it, and it's only a matter of time until maybe this series hits the mainstream. Now, take that as you will if you think that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm just happy to see that, you know, this series is flourishing and it is becoming very successful. So, yeah, Spy Family, Episode 2. Was it good? Hell yes, it was. As always, I'm very happy to be able to enjoy an anime. It's one of the best experiences as someone that watches anime, to just be able to sit down, smile, and relax. That's exactly how I felt while watching this, but I guess I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it in any shape or form, you know, please leave me a like. Now, if you, on the off chance, let's say you just didn't like the video, leave a dislike. You know what? I'm all for it. I know not everybody can see dislikes, but I can see it. It lets me know if I'm doing something wrong. It lets me know if I need to do something different. You know, I'm always for it. You know, likes or dislikes. But with that, guys, be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.